I just worked my butt off, and my boss was like, I'm hiring you as my executive assistant. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about how I don't let rejection letters bring me down. So a little bit about me. I'm 21 years old, I'm a college dropout, and I live in Los Angeles. The last 3 years I've spent literally just being on a bunch of different sets and meeting people. I've produced a few things. Recently I've been thinking, you know what, I really want to step up in my career a little bit. Like, I do a lot of random projects, but I would like to be in something that's a little bit more full-time. I would just like to have my own place or move. I don't know, I've been thinking about moving lately. I like LA. I do like LA for work, but also it's like I don't really like the city that much. But I just feel like I'm not getting what I'm looking for, and I'm kind of getting like a little bored of it. Something I've noticed, a lot of jobs I've been applying to are not only here, they're in other states. So I've been looking at other states. Maybe my experience will stand out because I'm all Hollywood. Like, Los Angeles is my whole resume, and compared to other people here that are applying for the same jobs as me, it doesn't look any different than theirs. What doesn't make me want to give up, I just know that I need to make equivalent experience. A lot of applications will say bachelor degree or equivalent experience. I have 3 years of professional experience, and I think I do need some more. Over the past, I would say since 2017, I've been applying like viciously to big companies. I've applied to a lot of studios, including Universal Studios, Sony. I forgot to mention that a movie I was working on last year was actually distributed by Sony Pictures. Warner Brothers, Netflix, Disney, Marvel, which is also Disney, Fox. I've applied to a lot of jobs, and I don't receive anything. It's a lot harder because everyone's doing the same thing. Like, I've produced a few things, so I think that's good. You know what? I sound crazy. Like, you guys know how old I am. Why am I freaking out about this? I don't know what's wrong with me, but I overwork myself. I think I overwork myself. Sometimes when you apply for a job, it'll show you how many other people have applied for the same job, and it could be up to like over 1,000 people sometimes. There's so much competition here. I went through all my emails and it was kind of sad. There's a lot of things that I forgot that I applied to. How I respond to not getting a job is I just think, what did I not do? What did they ask for in the job application? I will look at what the description is and what they're looking for. Sometimes they want specific software that you need to know how to use, and if you don't, I would recommend you just download it and mess with it a little bit to say that you at least know the basics. I at least like to look them up so I can have an idea if I know how to do that or not, because sometimes you can learn things on the spot, and of course they're going to train you, at least a little bit, so I wouldn't be too scared about that. But I always look at that. And also the biggest thing is experience. As somebody once told me, your resume has to reflect you. So if you keep doing PA jobs, which I've recently got back into, you're gonna get hired as a PA. If you're a producer, you're gonna get hired as a producer. If you're a talent agent, you're gonna be hired on as a talent agent. So make sure that the job you're applying to is actually what your resume reflects. And the hardest part is that sometimes that will be the case, that your resume is like, wow, it's like over what they're asking for, and you still don't hear anything. That's happened to me so many times. What I try to do to not feel discouraged by that, I will apply to not exactly the job I want, more as in the studio who's making it, but say there's a job on like Facebook, or there's a job on Craigslist for like a day shoot or Instagram or something, and I apply and I get it. It kind of makes me feel a little bit better, and also it's just there's something else to add to your resume the next time you apply. The thing I like is that some applications say bachelor's degree or equivalent experience, but that always gets me because I don't know what equivalent experience means. Does that mean 4 years of experience equals a bachelor's? I don't know. I'm almost there though. I only have like another year to go and I'll have 4 years of experience. It's just so frustrating sometimes because I wonder if people with bachelors are actually getting these jobs. People who are in the industry, and they said that sometimes that's not the case. You can have a master's and not get a job. I've been working a lot on networking. So also, if you feel discouraged that you didn't get a job, network, go to any event you can, go to any set that you can. Being on set and working for free, first of all, if you give your all and you're working for free, people will bring you back 100%. I always get asked to come back like when I do sets like that, and eventually you get paid. In the industry, we call it what do we call it? Day play. So that's like a very normal thing out here. You just have to make sure you get your number out there. I always recommend recommend that because I've gotten a really good job. I'll explain how I got a job on the CBS Studio Center a lot. So I'll explain how I got that through a connection and how I just worked my way. So how I got my start.
How'd you get your start?
Like, I'm on the lot now currently still after a year and a half, but in December of 2017, which is the same year I moved here, I just realized that, whoa, even before I moved to LA, I would make like an hour to 2 hour commute to Los Angeles at least 3 times a week. I was taking classes at the UCLA extension, which I made a lot of connections there too. That, and I attended so many events. I would just go to anything. I would just go to any event, even if it didn't have to do with film, just so I could meet people in Los Angeles. Oh my god, I totally forgot I used to hang out with Andy Dick. So I had a friend, and she was asking if anyone would like to be an intern. She was at CBS before me, and she had an opening for an internship, and it was for a movie called Taco Shop that stars Tyler Posey and even has music from Snoop Dogg. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, but I did not feel qualified at all. I honestly did not feel qualified. I sent in the personal email to somebody else who I thought was more qualified than me, just because I was like, I'm not ready for that. I was planning to work on a studio lot this year in 2019. So I was like, I have a whole nother year to go. But that was my own like thing that I put in my head. Like, I was thinking like timeline for my career, I'm gonna be on a studio lot in a year. So I guess I just felt a little like, oh, why should I even do this? I got rejected from Warner Brothers and Disney, and I was just kind of feeling down. You know what? She's personally reaching out to me. I guess I'm just gonna apply. Non-paid internship, which I didn't care. I was gonna be on a studio lot. And like, clearly it worked out. I went and I did the interview, and it was crazy because my boss was like, you know, this is an unpaid internship, right? Yeah, that's fine with me. I'm just here to meet people, work. I'm trying to get experience. You know, I have another year in my head to like make things happen. And then he told me and the other guy who was there, he said, oh, well, I'm gonna offer a paid position to either one of you guys or hopefully both of you at the end of this. And I was like, oh, what? Like, I wasn't even expecting that. Like, I was just literally just there to work for free. Like, I had no idea. You know what? I'm just talking about how I got my first paid gig, and I was an executive producer assistant. Like, what? So what I did, it was crazy. I was doing 2 different things at once. So there was a talk show going on that was starting to film in March, I believe. So it was January. We had 2 months. And we were also working on a movie. So a movie came out. It was coming to theaters. So we were getting it ready. We were getting it ready for a premiere in the summertime, and it went to a few theaters up north too. So we were getting it ready for theaters and taking things up north to the movie theaters, having events for it, having contests. It was like so many things going on. So my first month there, my boss told me, I need these positions for the talk show. Have fun. And like, that was it. See, this is what people don't see. This is how I literally got my job. So he basically needed everyone. I don't think we had anyone tied onto this show yet. We just had 2 executives and like a handful of producers, and that's it. I had to go in and go on Facebook and on different hiring sites. We're hiring for a talk show. I had to go through over like 100 resumes, and I had to contact these people who I thought were a good fit and then schedule them to interview them. This was on me on my own time, unpaid, and I interviewed them, like Emmy award-winning producers, like people from big shows. First of all, I hope they don't ask me what my age is, because I was only 20 years old, and 2, I hope I don't sound stupid because, you know, I have some experience, but I don't have like I only had like a year and a half of experience at the moment. I had nothing. So I had to interview these people. If I thought they were good candidates, I would tell my boss to go do a second interview with them. So many interviews, so many resumes. I hired producers, our co-executive producer, associate producers, our accountant, our PM. I can't even remember. I think I got our line producer, wardrobe, makeup, so many different people. I just worked my butt off, and my boss was like, I'm hiring you as my executive assistant. So I was like, what? And that was my first show. It actually aired too. So I thought that was cool. So my name was like in other states somewhere in the credits. That's how I got my first paid gig. When I got rejected from those other production companies like Warner Brothers and Disney, this was like in October. I just quit my job at AMC. I used to work at AMC, the movie theaters. What is that, 2 months? I had a job at CBS. Like, what? You just have to not doubt yourself. Even if somebody says no, somebody else will say yes. Because I almost said no to myself. Like, I almost didn't reply to this thing. I sent it to another person, and I thought they were gonna get it and not me, and they didn't end up even doing it. Anyways, that's my video. If I left anything out, I am very sorry. Maybe I'll make a part 2 to this, but just leave any comments below if this is what you were looking for. That is my video for today. Please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.